today we will sign HB 1557, the Parents' Rights in Education Bill. And this bill takes three main steps. First, the bill prohibits classroom instruction about sexuality or things like transgender in K through 3 classrooms. And after 3rd grade, those curriculums need to be age appropriate. Second, the bill ensures that at the beginning of every school year, parents will be notified about health care services offered at the school with the right to decline any service offered. And finally, this bill ensures that whenever a questionnaire or health screening is given to our young students, parents receive it first and give permission for the school to give it to their child. For our new show it off official.
As you saw Ron DeSantis a few months ago showing off his new bigoted legislation that's gonna get him some good conservative, hateful, bigoted points, the Don't Say Gay bill down in Florida. So as this is now being implemented and schools are having to respond to this hateful legislation, it's coming in real view. Before you can talk about all this, you can have parents and kids standing around that have no idea what the hell they're there for and sign this stuff and celebrate. But now that it's getting implemented, we're really seeing what it looks like. Let's go to details of how bad this really is. Representatives for the Orange County teachers sounded alarm bells on Monday after word spread from principals that Orange County Public Schools would impose strict restrictions on classroom behavior after Florida's new parental rights in education law took effect. Again, the Don't Say Gay law. Now, according to representatives of the county's Teachers Association, teachers and staff members will be disallowed from wearing rainbow articles of clothing, including lanyards distributed by the district last year. Elementary level teachers reported being discouraged from putting pictures of their same-sex spouse on their desk or talking about them to students. Safe space stickers that are aimed at LGBTQ students may have to be removed from doors. Teachers will have to report to parents if a student comes out to them, and pay attention to this part. And they must use pronouns assigned at birth, regardless of what the parents allow, is what the CTA reported. They must use pronouns assigned at birth, regardless of what parents of those same children allow and say who their children are. So tell me again, Ron DeSantis, how this has anything to do with parental rights, or is it about certain parental rights? Let's let him continue and tell that lie.
Last year, I signed the Parents' Bill of Rights in the state of Florida, which was really something that was significant. Last week, we signed curriculum transparency legislation so that parents have a right to access the curriculum that's in their kids' schools, as well as understand what type of books are in school libraries.
So again, is it about parental rights? What about the parents that don't agree with you? It sounds like it's about Ron DeSantis's rights. And this is a part of a party who talks about limited government. Or is this governmental control? So what if your name is Sally Smith and your daughter, according to Ron DeSantis, is a boy? And then Sally Smith says, no, she's a girl. And he goes, you know what? I don't care about your rights. I don't care who you are. I don't care who your child is. F you. It's what I believe. Is that the Republican Party that they want to promote to you? There's more on this really fast, Ray. Because during this presentation, administrators posed hypothetical scenarios based on the new statutes, and verbal answers were provided based on limited guidance from the Florida Department of Education, is what the spokesperson wrote. Once further guidance is received from the Florida Department of Education, the district will provide formal guidance to administrators and staff. So they have to wait for the Florida Department of Education to hand down what this is supposed to look like, how you can act, what you can wear, what you can say, what shoes and socks and underwear you can put on every day, or else Ron DeSantis and the big long arm of Florida's government is gonna come and get you. One more piece. In a separate conversation, an OCPS official said that the district needed to err on the side of caution, until state officials provided more clarity. The strict interpretations, they said, were necessary to protect both students and teachers. The latter could have their teaching licenses revoked if they run afoul to the law, is what the official said. Sounds like teachers in Florida are afraid to be teachers in Florida because this madman, dictator wannabe is heading the government there and wants to continue to force them to do things that isn't really where they would normally go, Ray.
Yeah, there's a couple, of course, this is all really ridiculous and just devastatingly bigoted and discriminatory. But there was one thing that he said in his speech about certain like social worker administrative treatments with students that they have to report to the parents before they move ahead for, which concerns me, like not just as far as the sexuality aspect of it goes, but I mean, of course, yeah. There's a lot of gay students who don't come out to their families because they are afraid of the repercussions and abuse that they will suffer at home. But I mean, beyond that, like if a student comes forward to a social worker and discusses like sexual abuse that they're experiencing at home, how far does this go to the reporting back to the parents? Are they going to, forego reporting this to the state as they've been previously mandated to do, and instead go to the parent? I mean, it's just worrisome because this interpretations have not been, issued. The guidances haven't been issued, and like as it stands right now, they're in the interest of protecting teachers to some extent, and I can understand why they would want to have some overkill so teachers are not losing their licenses and losing their jobs. Like why they would sort of overextend or have more strict interpretations at the district level. But it's the repercussions of this are going to be devastating, and and children could ultimately commit suicide. This is not, suicidality of gay and trans children is much higher than it is for
There's stats and numbers on all this when it comes to trans kids, or just even just gay kids that come out to their parents, and many times instances they get kicked out and they find themselves on the streets in some cases. We're talking about homeless youth as a significant number when it comes to this. They could know all this stuff if they want to pay attention, or if they thought that these folks' lives actually mattered. Again, there is a division amongst who are the good people we want to listen to on what they think is good versus those evil people. Again, the same party who talks about the sanctity of life. We want to protect every child's life. Unless you're gay, then F you. That's Ron DeSantis' policy. And of course, Florida boards of education and school districts are afraid to do much of anything else because they don't want to run outside of the new dystopian laws. It's just the way it is. And do you think they didn't realize that? Of course, the people who crafted this law realized that. They absolutely realized it. And again, how about those parental rights? They don't give a damn about them.